All right, in politics now, it took Willie Meggs by surprise. He drew an opponent in his re-election bid for state attorney. The controversial prosecutor will face former statewide prosecutor Pete Williams, who has an extensive record that spans several decades. In this segment of Inside Politics, we're going to talk with our political analyst, Gail Andrews, about why this particular race has everyone talking. And Gail, as we mentioned, you know, this really has come as a surprise to Meggs. Why?
Well, it was really very shrewd in terms of what Williams did. Pete Williams filed his paperwork on the very last day. He didn't do the standard. Most people will do a petition where they get a bunch of signatures and so forth. But they wanted to come in under the wire. I guess that was part of the strategy, and it worked well. I mean, Meggs was very surprised by that. Everyone is surprised. Everybody in the political world, which is what, 80% of Tallahassee, is talking about this challenge that Meggs has had. Meggs has not had a challenger in a while.
And how do you rate his challenger, Pete Williams?
I put him up there. This guy has serious credentials. He's been a statewide prosecutor. He's been an assistant state attorney here in the Panhandle. He has worked in alcohol, you know, in prosecuting cases for the state. He's been an assistant attorney general. He's an inspector general. He's been an inspector general. So he's been quite a public servant in terms of prosecution. And also, he's worked for some very interesting people. He's worked for Democrats and Republicans. He worked for Bob Butterworth, who is considered one of the state's best attorney generals, very much an advocate for the people. And he also worked for Charlie Crist, and he quit his job at the Department of Education as an inspector general to do this, and he paid almost $10,000 to qualify. So it's all just a lot of intrigue behind this.
So this guy has a lot of experience, it seems.
He has a lot of experience. He has a lot of experience, and I think it takes a lot to run against Willie Meggs. Willie Meggs is a tough guy. He's a prosecutor. It's one of the most powerful posts in the state, you know, to be a prosecutor. Meggs has been in there. He hasn't had a challenger in 8 years. He has been there for 28 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be a very interesting race. What do you think?
I think it's going to be one of the hottest races statewide. I really do, because, again, Meggs is a very controversial figure. A lot of people like him. A lot of people don't like him. And during this presidential election year, this could be something to watch, because this guy, Pete Williams, is a very interesting person, and his range of experience, his education and everything is extremely diverse. Extremely diverse. I was wow, you know, this is going to be hot.
All right, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, thank you so much, Gail, for joining us. We'll see you next week.